Have you ever gone on a date with a girl who looks like a 10 on her dating profile, only to come face to face with a land whale in real life?
Yeah, damn!
No? Well, I have. And let me tell you, it's about as disappointing as when a car manufacturer shows off a sexy looking concept, but then a year later, this.
Come on, man.
By now, this enshittification of design is like an industry standard, and for good reason. But sometimes, not very often, but sometimes, the opposite can happen too.
That's what I'm talking about!
Hey guys, Stipe here with a list of concept cars which actually look worse than the production versions. Let's go! Number 7, Nissan 240Z concept. 5 years after the 300ZX went out of production, the world was desperate for a successor. So Nissan prepared a little bit of a tease for us. This. Oh my God, the audience gasped. They made a camel, except with no camel toes. And no V6.
Oh, come on!
Yes, people, this was the earliest idea of what the 350Z would eventually become. And I'm relieved to say that, color aside, not a single other thing was kept. Look at that face! I get it's supposed to be resembling the 70s original, but I don't know, man. It looks more like that Suzuki Cappuccino microcar than the OGZ.
He ain't lying.
At the rear, the taillights seem to be stolen from some other car, just flipped upside down. And the way they extended the rear glass so low when you combine it with its license plate dip, it's like someone pinched its ass. Don't they know that only sexy asses get pinched?
Great ass!
But the ultimate sin happened to the side. They removed its hips! If there's one rule about designing performance cars, is that you need very strong rear arches to signal power. It gives it that grrr, you know? But by moving the beltline to connect the door handle with the taillights, they removed its hips and left a huge empty void, which not only looked meek, but also forced the side windows to awkwardly wrap into themselves. That's not the Z look. To top it all off, the ride height was so high that the car looked like it was afraid of mice. Number 6, Acura Advanced Sedan concept. Okay, for a long time, Acura, which is Honda's luxury brand for the US, was just rebadging the same cars Honda sold in Japan and Europe, and what's exactly luxurious about that? So when I heard their senior vice president give a long speech about commitment towards luxury with deeply sculpted surfaces, specifically for the US, I thought, oh, good! But after I saw the results, I thought, oh, good Lord! Why is it upside down? Was this done for a bet? And is the designer of this tragedy still employed? They call it the Advanced Sedan concept, which is a poor choice of words for a car that looks like it's missing a few chromosomes. How else can I describe those misplaced headlights? Or the front that doesn't know if it wants to be sharp or wide, so it's kind of both? Or the side windows, which visually extend over the roofline. Paint this area silver, please. It's gonna make it more butch. And another, please, flip this around. The engine is here, so it needs a hot air outlet, not a cold air intake for what exactly? The trunk? This Acura ASC was supposed to show what the next TL would look like, and I'm happy that their prophecy missed by a mile. Yes, there are some shapes and surfaces that resemble the concept, like this stupid-looking beak grill and these intakes, but overall, this looks much more tame, and yes, better. Not amazingly good, but still better than the upside-down disaster of a concept, that's for sure. Ugh, like, doesn't even look as good as your sister upside down, you know what I'm saying? Number 5, Mercedes Vision SLA. Encouraged by the positive reception of the Vision SLR concept, which frankly I think looks hideous, the designers at Mercedes decided to push the F1 nose gimmick even further with what the next SLK would look like. And, oh God, what the hell is this? I'll kill it with fire before it lays eggs! Seriously, it looks like some perverted German experiment, just grafting together body parts that clearly don't belong together. The hood is so low that the strut towers are literally sticking out. The F1 wing is so wide, it pokes out through the sides. And those are blinkers, by the way, which means those tiny holes in the wings are headlights? Like I said, perverted. And what really bothers me is that they were so close to making something cool, but missed it. Let me show you what I mean. First, let's close those headlights and the hood mesh. See where I'm going with this? Now we add some lights and done. I'll admit, it's no Pininfarina. In fact, it's more of a beluga whale, but even as such, it's much better than what Mercedes had done. And it took me only 13 seconds? Next, I'd fix the proportions, the fat mirrors, the yada yada. But this is not a SketchMonkey video, so let me just show you the better looking production SLK version, and instead, I'll fix something else. The could be better SLR. It's super simple. You take the Sterling Moss edition and you give it a roof. That's it. And that is so much better.
That's better. Thank you.
Number 4, Renault Zoe. I know EVs are supposed to be hated and all, but I'm sorry, I just can't be mad at Renault's little Zoe. Look at how sweet it is.
Sweet.
Oh, don't say sweet.
Sweet little car.
And it even has those little cheek dimples when it smiles. How cute is that, right? Now, you'd imagine that the concept car for it was even more over-the-top charming, but let me just show it to you. Yes, this was the original Zoe. And all I can say is, whose idea was it to give it that name? Who looked at this and went like,
you know that cute blonde girl from HR? Hey, let's name it after her.
yay, so happy. Look at that front. It's like it hasn't slept in 4 days and is now literally hallucinating because of it. The smile? What smile? This? That's about as expressive as that Daft Punk robot. And as for the side profile, it would have been fine if it weren't for that damn window line stretching over the roof. Listen, car designers, unless you're working with a well-rounded, extremely low cabin like on the Alfa 33 Stradale, don't make the window line stretch over the roof. It looks like shit.
It is shit.
However, I will throw this Zoe a bone and say that the rear actually does look kind of interesting, even if that rear also looks like a Daft Punk robot. The other one. Luckily, it took Renault 6 years to turn this into a production car, and by then, the designers got their shit together and gave us a Zoe actually worthy of the cute girl's name.
Sweet!
Number 3, Ford Mustang 1. In the early 60s, Ford noticed that there was a big market gap between go-kart and a Chevy Corvette, and they decided they were the first ones to fix that. And fix it they did, with the Mustang, except this is not how they first imagined it. Initially, the Mustang was supposed to be this mid-engine, 4-cylinder, roadster, and, it wasn't much of a looker.
What the hell is even that?
Granted, it's kinda hard to judge old designs without the context. People would think, well, Stipe, that's just what early 60 cars looked like. No, they didn't. Look at the Corvette. It's so nicely rounded and ornate with chrome details. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And so is the Porsche 718 RSK. Just in case you want to accuse me of not picking another mid-engine car to compare it to. Take that, internet. Meanwhile, this Mustang is literally a squared-off flying saucer with an open top and a Corvette's ass for a face. Seriously, if you duplicate these round lights, it looks very similar. And I'm sorry, but the only thing that looks good with an ass for a face is Ben Affleck. It's also just plain confusing to look at. Is this thing coming or is it going? Those gigantic side intakes are an eyesore too. Why not give them an angle so they follow the roll bar? Or better even yet, connect them to the accent line below, like they did with the actual production Mustang? Oh well. Luckily, Mustang ended up looking nothing like that. And then there was the GT40. A mid-engine Ford done right.
You're goddamn right.
Number 2, 2002 Saturn Sky. Okay, there's no other way of saying this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's got the Hitler mustache! And now, with that out of the way, is the 2002 Saturn Sky concept really so bad? It's not exactly ugly, but it is something far worse. Boring. Who designed it anyway? A guy named Dave Smith? Well, that explains it. Generic name, generic car. For real though, I've seen more creative designs done in that automation game. And what is with Dave's obsession with blade shape? The headlights, the intakes, the side details. I can already picture him playing with the rectangle tool in his car design app, and then he suddenly deleted one of the corners and was like,
Oh! Yo, yo, yo!
honestly, I'm surprised he didn't use it for the taillights too. The only interesting thing worthy of mention here is that Sky is asymmetrical. The driver's side has an extra suicide door for the rear, like on the Mazda RX-8, but that's about it. Meanwhile, over in the European Opel Vauxhall division of GM, there were folks who were also thinking about designing a sporty roadster. And let me tell you, their design blows the Saturn out of the sky. I'm guessing what happened next is that the GM boss saw both designs, wiped his ass with Dave Strong's, and told Opel that they could turn their car into a reality, as long as there was a rebadged version for Saturn. And well, ta-da! I gotta say that is one great looking car. Anyway, it's time for honorable mentions. You know how we do. Can you guess which cars these ugly concepts turned into? Yes? No? Let me know down in the comments. But first, it's time for the big one. Number 1, the 2001 Nissan GT-R. The wheels are kind of nice. As for the rest, it's like someone asked an Alzheimer's patient to draw the GT-R from memory. It just looks wrong. Well, maybe not wrong, but after looking at the right GT-R shape for over 20 years, seeing it in its unfinished, dopey looking state is giving me some serious uncanny valley vibes. You know, like seeing The Rock in The Mummy Returns. That's not exactly him. And it's the same with this car. Now, since Sam, Nico, and Ren couldn't be here, I'm gonna have to solo this dissection for you. Starting with the front, which looks way too skinny and weak thanks to these thin headlights, and the nose, which doesn't spread out as it goes down. The whole face is missing that commanding heavyweight division look that we're used to. The rear is also missing the girth, and most importantly, so is the roofline too. The production GT-R has much stronger arches and also something of a chop-top style. You can clearly see where they figuratively cut the roof and slammed it down. Lastly, you think this area looks weird because there's no wing? No, it's because the roof is perched up too high, leaving the hips hanging too low. It's disjointed. But now, look at the factory version. Lower belt line, higher hip line. That's it. That's what made all the difference. The hips, man. The hips. They can make or break a car design. Oh, and it's also missing this strong S graphic on the side. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about this topic. Go watch something else now, and I'll see you in the next one.